What kind of fuckery is this?
Hello everybody, welcome back to Mike's Mike. My name is Mike and we are doing our Week 6 Australian Survivor recap and whatever. Honestly, so many words. Just some quick life updates. I bought the new Spider-Man game, but I haven't played it yet, so this video is going to be quite a bit shorter because I just really want to play it and I have one day to play it because otherwise I fly back to Sydney for work. And I'm wearing a shirt with my dog's face on it. How fun is that? Imagine if I got successful on YouTube and my merch was like shirts with my dog's face on it. I love that. I know y'all are here for the merge talk, and that happened on Tuesday. First, we've got to recap Monday, and that episode started with the gang smoking up the damn forest. We had Matt being like, there be some honey, and then the gang being like, ooh, imagine if we could get some honey. Hello, sugar. So Matt's like, you know what, let's build a fire. It's like little triangle fire moment and like a little bit of steam, smoke. And then Steve's like, y'all realize I'm an actual pyromaniac? So he starts putting shit on it and it keeps gassing up the bees, and the bees leave and they get their honeycomb. I feel like the whole time that the fire was happening, the production team was just like, do we need to stop this? Like, are they going to stop putting shit on that fire? Are we going to burn down this island? Imagine if that happened. That'd be such a good thumbnail. And a title, Steve burned down the jungle. I feel like the chances of me doing ASMR have just gone up dramatically since this setup. Like, listen to me do this fail noise. Womp, 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 womp. I'm going to be using that now. So y'all already know that Sharnie has me genuinely screaming every 3 seconds on Survivor, but this week was just like another, like a highlight reel of Sharnie moments. Like when she was talking about the bag chat, I was just like, I'm screaming so loud at this. However, I'm gonna have to pull up Sharnie on something. She said she would rather watch 2 seasons or 2 episodes of Antiques Roadshow, as if that's a bad thing, sis. Antiques Roadshow snaps. Y'all wouldn't even be here if we didn't have Antiques Roadshow. And that's that on that. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that I really genuinely liked this week's editing. You know, obviously it's me. I've got a few issues, got a few receipts to show you. But overall, I think it was edited like really fun, lots of suspense, and they had a lot to work with, especially with the merge and the Survivor auction, all that jazz. We got a lot of good gems from Fenella. This week was so Shannel-centric, and honestly, I was living. But however, let me point out to you some facts right now. Sis is getting a winner's edit. Like, she's like an underdog, you know, where we love an Aussie battler, don't we? We love an Aussie battler. I feel like they're trying to make Fenella the underdog. Why did I do that? It just made my hair even worse. Oh my god, I hate that. I feel like they're trying to get us to be like, oh my god, Fenella is an underdog. We stan, and then she wins, and we're gonna be like, turn up 2 million views in the finale. If I hear Benji say dethrone one more time, like surely he says other things that the team can use to put into the show. Like surely he says like a different word that means the same thing as dethrone. Like the word dethrone has lost meaning to me. I've heard it that many times. Like y'all need to stop with the like regal references. My notes that I wrote are just so genuinely me. Like I wrote, dragging shit through the sand for the challenge, ... Okay, whatever. Shan invented strategy, and I think that this episode really showed it. Like she was really like just calling the shots. She was like, y'all mind if I snap real quick? And then we had JLP asking 60,000 questions, and I feel like the amount of questions per minute is exceeding the amount of minutes. So like his questions per minute, his QPM is so high. He could like start a motor with his QPM instead of RPM. I feel like he should just use that QPM to get on a bike, use the motor to drive off out of my screen. Kidding, haha, haha. Last time I shaded JLP, I got dislikes. Ooh. Merge. So my backing light is doing weird shit. If the lighting just randomly pops off, that's why. Oh. Okay. Also in this episode, what the fuck is the backing light doing? Also in this episode, we had the Survivor auction. Like, don't get it twisted. This episode snapped. Like, this week snapped. But this episode in particular snapped. Like, we had merge, we had Survivor auction. Someone messaged me, they're like, why wasn't there a feast? And honestly, I'm like, I don't know. I don't have the reasoning for you. But the Survivor auction snapped. A few points about the auction. Sam's love affair with Chalky Milk was funny at the start, and then it got weird. I don't know. I feel like maybe it was just me being all attitudey in Sydney, but I was just like, I don't know. I feel like Sam's dropped a few notches after that. It just got weird. Shane begging for food is literally iconic because Who is going to say no? Let's talk about Shawnee's lolly jar real quick. I feel like any chance you get on Survivor to take like a lolly reward or win something sweet, you gotta take that shit. Like in last season, we had Jericho with the cookies. Cookies are like 900% sugar, and then he ended up winning. All I'm saying is, Sharnie had lollies, and they're like 700% sugar. Correlation does not imply causation, but it definitely suggests a trend. Oh my god, also, I was pissing myself laughing. I was PMSL, if you will. It looked like Sharnie gave Shane like one banana lolly, even though the sound was like so many lollies falling onto the plate, but they just showed it and it looked like one banana lolly. And I was like, me, whenever anyone asks for some of my food. So in the lolly jar, there was in fact a clue, and Sharnie ended up getting an advantage. It was like a little vote hoo-ha moment. And you know, at least it wasn't an idol. Like we have 724 idols now, I think. But I mean, at the same time, I kind of wish it was an idol, because like, I'm a Sharnie stan, we been new. And you know how I said the editing was good this week? Just a quick moment about that. There was like a clip of people talking, and in the background there's Lydia eating a pizza. And it was just like, when did Lydia get a pizza? We had no footage of Lydia getting a pizza. And apparently Sam also got a parmigiana. Parmigiano. So as soon as they merged, I was like, oh, no. The Contenders about to get dropped. They're going to get curb stomped. But as it seems, I had no reason to be worried. And the Shannel reunion was everything I wanted and more. 10-second chat about that challenge. Shan snapped. Like, that's all we need to talk about. Shan snapped. Can we rename Shan to Snapped? That doesn't make any sense. What the fuck? Also, Shane is an icon. She practically jumped out of the challenge before it even started, because she was like, I don't need this, I'm confident. And then she used her time to talk to people to try and get them to vote for Lydia. Like, what a queen. We had Sam stuck between two worlds, essentially, because he was like, I stan Lydia, but I also stan Matt, so he wasn't sure who to, like, vote with. But he ended up voting with Matt, which is a smart move, because if he ended up signing with Lydia, people would know that he did that, and then he would be targeted. So yada yada yada, we ended with a Lydia blind side. And you know, I know a lot of people are like, I'm so glad Lydia's gone. But I'm like, you know what? She did really well, and she was just such a beast in challenges. They did the right thing by getting rid of her, and I'm kind of glad they did in terms of like the longevity of the season, because if they didn't, she would just like fucking nail it every single week. But now we have like a little bit of variety. Anything could happen. We could get Fenella winning the next challenge, and honestly, I would not be surprised. She's a gun. Quick moment about the promo. This is spoilers for the next 30 seconds if you don't want to hear me spill tea about the promo. There's two clips of Steve in the promo at Tribal Council wearing two different outfits, and in one of the outfits, he's wearing a necklace, but it's not like the immunity necklace, it's like a different necklace. So I'm thinking Matt uses his idol to save Steve, but Steve makes it at least through the next week because he's wearing two different outfits to Tribal, unless there's two Tribals in one elimination, which is never the case. So SparkNote's version of my rankings, it's kind of like easy to understand, but I've got Shan, Steve, Monica, Shawnie, Shane, Matt, Sam, Fenella, Benji, Brian, Robbie. Shan at the top because literally why not? She's like killing it, she's got alliances, good at challenges, no issues whatsoever. Steve and Monica, I put Steve at the top because inside knowledge. Monica because she's not a threat to anyone, same with Shawnie. Shane, skinny legend. Matt, Sam kind of dropped down a little bit because I feel like there's a little bit more heat on him now. Fenella, I've put the lowest of the girls just because maybe if people want to get out some of the contenders, they'll probably gun for her if they want to go. But I mean, there's only two choices, Shawnie and Fenella, so that whole point was shit. I put Benji and Robbie in the bottom three because those two were left out of the loop about who to vote for. So they didn't know to vote for Lydia, so they voted with Lydia. So the rest of the team just like yeet on them, and I feel like they're in such like a bad position now. I feel like Benji, lest we forget he has an idol, and plus he got that word of mouth, like he can do that shit, so I feel like he can get out of it. But Robbie, I don't know if he got them #talents. And Brian, I feel like it's just a running meme that I put Brian at the bottom and he never goes, so he probably won't go. I want that to happen, I don't want him to go, but there's a high chance, so I can't put him not at the bottom. Alrighty, let's do some Instagram comments. Reminder, if you want to get your comments read out in the video, all you gotta do, follow me on Instagram. Thingy's up here, I think, or maybe on this side. Honestly, you'd think I know which side it's on by now. But yeah, follow me, respond to the Q&A tag that I put up at the end of the Tuesday episode, and perhaps I'll read out your response. So to start with, would you have sent Heath or Robbie home on Monday? I guess it depends on my alliance that I would have been in. I feel like I would have been aligned with Fenella, so in that case I would have wanted Robbie to go. But at the same time, if Heath didn't go, we wouldn't get the like amazing moment when Benji and Robbie both were out of the loop. So tea. Blindside, hell yes, sis. Was that a reference to my week 7 video from last Survivor recap season? Were those words even fitting in a sentence? I'm having so many issues with talking lately. What are your thoughts on the steel vote advantage? I love a bit of spice. I put spice in everything that I cook, which is nothing because I cook nothing. But, if I were to cook, I'd put spices in it. And I feel like I'm enjoying this spice. At least it's not an idol. I feel like, should we get that on a shirt? At least it's not an idol. Who is your favourite and why is it Fenella? Lol. I feel like my favourite is Shan. I absolutely love Shan. She's a gun. I'm just impressed every single episode. I'm just like, you do you, sis. You're amazing. Dave Carter 68 says, I'm seeing Brian becoming the season's runner-up while I have the winner being Shan. I could 100% see Shan being the winner. Brian being the runner-up is interesting because I feel like he's not flying under the radar, but just the attention gets shifted away from him every single time he's about to be voted out. I feel like if he makes it through the next week, then that will be a good indication of how far he'll go. Aesthetic Pick says, I fear for Shawnee's diabetes. Oh my god, there was so many lollies in that jar, and she only gave one banana lolly apparently to Shane, so she got the rest of them. You better eat them in moderation. I'm a sugar stan, but you gotta know your limits. Why is there a challenge where survivors are drowning? What are your thoughts, sis? I hate water. I know I need it to live. Whatever. I hate swimming. I feel like everyone in Melbourne fucking goes swimming. What is that about? I don't want to go swimming. That's one of the main reasons why I haven't gone for Survivor, is because I don't want to fucking swim anywhere or do any kind of swimming. I'll drown. Amainzy says, I love Shane Gold, my fave. Also love how Sharnie thought the champs were weirdos. Suitcase chat can only go so far, but mind you, I do have opinions about suitcases. They're important. Izzy Gunson says, do you think there will be a Benji blindside soon? Well, lest we forget he has the idol. So if he goes home with an idol, that would be a moment. That would be a moment. But I think he's smart enough to realise when the heat's on him and he'll play the idol, and then he might be responsible for a little bit of a move, voting out a top player. Imagine if the heat's on him, everyone thinks he's going, he plays the idol, and it ends up being Matt or something like that. Wild. Chris Penno says, champions are going to crumble with Robbie and Benji with them. Hashtag Sharnella. Where did that A come from, sis? It's Shannella or Shannella, I guess. It'll be interesting to see what the next big blindside is. What if Steve went home or Matt went home? That would be a moment and a half. JM Wingard says, episode 14 got me shook. Shane and Shannella all the way. That's a tongue twister and a half. Shane, Shawnie, Shan. Got me shook. And to wrap it up, Eastern Sun says, seeing Robbie and Benji confidently flip and then be on the wrong side of the numbers is life. Them two hooligans were trying to get that moment happening. They're putting them, planting those seeds, let's vote out Heath, so we'll be aligned with the champs. And the champs ended up eating one of the champs. And then after the vote, Robbie was like, who voted for Lydia? And then Benji was like, we did, or something along those lines. That was funny. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Robbie. His Instagram story, which pops off, by the way, he's really grinding to gain those numbers, but he's hell dropping hints that he or Matt will be going this week. NDA who? Did you sign a contract? We'll see what happens there. Alrighty, thanks for watching this week's video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. We got 45 likes on the last video, which was screaming, honestly. If you got something to say, leave a comment and make sure you reply to my Q&A on Instagram about the next week's episodes. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. We're grinding ever so slowly to 600. Anyway, I hope you have a good week. Enjoy this week's episodes, and I will see you next week. Peace out. Bye.